review of Bound. Yes, like I said, finally getting some use out of my PlayStation 4. Is Final Fantasy 15 out yet? Bound is a PlayStation 4 exclusive game developed by, Plastic. Who the fuck is Plastic? Let's see, no Wikipedia page, website hasn't been updated since December of last year. Okay, never mind. Bound is a platformer/art game. Yeah, you know how it is. The focus is on visuals and the experience rather than the gameplay. Fine, I like pretty things, let's do this. When the game begins, you're controlling an unnamed pregnant lady walking on a beach. Boo. Just boo. I get it, her being pregnant might make this seem more meaningful, but I suspect the real reason why she's pregnant is so the game has an excuse for why she walks so goddamn slow. But thankfully, this is not the entirety of the game. The woman has a book with her that she goes through and relives her childhood memories. But, you know, artistically. See, the real game takes place in this sort of dream world where you play as a princess whose mother tells her to defeat a monster that's destroying the world. So, as you might have guessed, everything that happens in this dream world is a metaphor for things that happened in the woman's real life. Although you could call this game a walking simulator, I think that would be selling it short. Yes, it's similar to those types of games, but it does have some features that make it stand out. The graphics are interesting, with the world seeming to be made of various cubes, and the motion of the princess is certainly eye-catching as she moves quite unlike other video game characters. She dances throughout the game and even uses her dancing to fend off enemies, those enemies being paper planes, fire, and cubist spaghetti. Apparently the graphics were downgraded so the game could run at a stable 60 frames per second. I guess that's good if something like that is important to you. Unfortunately, in my case, I can't really tell if the game is better for being at 60 FPS, even though I wouldn't care if the graphics looked nicer. It's kind of a big whatever for me, but I know it's good to talk about things like that because people really do care about frame rate and the graphics quality. As far as I can see, the game looks good, and its style does make it stand out, but looks aren't the only thing to be concerned about here. How's the gameplay? Well, it's a platformer. A hella boring platformer. God, it's so boring. There's no puzzles to solve, no real difficulty, and the camera makes me motion sick. The only challenge of this game is collecting all these shards. Of course, you don't have to collect them, and they don't do anything, but they're there. That makes you want to pick them up, right? Okay, I will give the game this. At the end of each level, you glide through the stage on a ribbon. And it's fucking beautiful. I love it. But it doesn't make up for the rest of the boring-ass gameplay. I guess I'm supposed to want to keep playing to understand the story, but there's not enough here to make it interesting. Like, here's how they tell the story. Something happens in the dream world that connects to real life. You run around, complete the level, and then you're taken into a first-person segment where you walk around as a room comes into view. The room will depict a still scene from the protagonist's life. This is where you take the cutscenes from the level and this scene and put them together in your brain to work out what actually happened. Because it's fucking artistic and everything is a metaphor and we're supposed to be impressed by this way of storytelling. I'm not. I almost feel bad picking on this game so much, but here's why I'm being so mean. I paid $27 for this game, and my first playthrough of it lasted less than 2.5 hours. Come on! I get it, those of you in the States are only paying $20, and the Canadian dollar is weak as shit, but I feel ripped off. And then, the game has the nerve to bring up speedruns. The fastest time on the leaderboard is less than a half hour. This doesn't equal replay value. The only reason you might replay it is to see the other ending, but I don't even care about it. It's not like playing the game a certain way gives you a different ending either. You're just given 2 options to pick from at the end, and then the game's over. I've been told equating a game's price to time spent is a mistake, but if this game's 2.5 hours of playtime had been incredible and super fun, I could forgive it. But in reality, it's a beautiful, yet boring game. You know what I bought a PlayStation for? Arkham Knight. It was because I knew my computer wouldn't be able to run it, and I was right about that in more ways than one. But I haven't gotten a lot of use out of the console, and I was hoping Bound would give me a reason to turn it on again. I'm pretty disappointed. And I still need a new PC anyway. Ugh, I don't know what to do next. It's not gonna be Harvest Moon, though. It's not time for that yet. Maybe I'll review a puzzle game. Or maybe I'll just review a jigsaw puzzle. Bet you've never seen that before. So I guess if you want to see what's next, subscribe, and the next review will be posted soon. I promise. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.